Brandon T. Adams is an Emmy Award-winning producer and host of the TV series Success in Your City. He is a podcaster, speaker, inventor, advisor, crowdfunding expert, and media expert. Brandon is a serial entrepreneur, owning a stake in a number of businesses, including the Accelerate Media Group, Live to Grind, Young Entrepreneur Convention, Success in Your City, and more. He is the associate producer and youngest featured entrepreneur in the movie Think and Grow Rich: The Legacy, which is based off of the classic book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, that has sold over 130 million copies worldwide. Brandon shares what he has learned about success on stages across the country, sharing stories from individuals living on the streets to billionaires, CEOs, celebrities, movie stars, and professional athletes. He has come up with a success formula that everyone can apply and find their own version of success in business, life, and life. So we're actually going to kick this off with a video.
Overnight success doesn't exist. Overnight success takes years of hard work and never giving up. Every day, I wake up with a drive and passion to get better and master my craft. You hear about the successes, but how often do you hear about the failures? I've pitched Stick to crowds that laugh at me. I've heard no hundreds of times and been told I'm wasting my time. If you stick with something long enough, success is bound to find you. Opportunities will present themselves, and you need to take them. You must believe in yourself and share your vision with others, because people will follow you. Once you build your team, you must steer them in the right direction. Greatness will come, and success will bring more opportunities that you could have never imagined. People will attract you, and your voice will be heard. With years of hard work and never giving up, all of a sudden, you will find your overnight success. In life, I believe you should create something great and become unforgettable, because life is too short not to. My name is Brandon T. Adams, and I urge you to go after your overnight success. Make it yours. What are you waiting for?
How's it going, everybody? How are we doing today? Good? Good? I want to hear you again. How are we doing today? Good? Are you guys ready to learn? Having fun? You know, the last couple days I got to spend some time with all of you and learn from you and learn about your businesses. I can relate with you. I actually grew up in a family business. My dad sold packaged ice for a living. Who's ever been in the ice business? No? No. So I grew up in the ice business, and I can actually sell ice to an Eskimo. I saw what it was like at a young age to be in that business, so I can relate with you. I had bought the business from my father. He started in 1986, and I purchased it from him. It was about 6 years ago. I actually just exited here 4 months ago. This is the first 4th of July that I went through where I didn't have to sell ice in my entire life. 29 years. So first 4th of July, I didn't even know what to do because it's the busiest time of the year. Can you guys relate? What's the busy time of the year for you guys? Yeah. So we can relate to having that. So before we get started today, I'm going to share some amazing things with you that can help you in your business. We're going to be talking about video marketing, video content. We're going to be talking about how you can utilize video, why it's so important today. Utilize it on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. We're going to have opportunity for you guys to ask me questions. We're going to be going through the Think and Grow Rich principles. Who read the book that they got? Curious, raise your hand. Who read the book Think and Grow Rich before this time? Yes? Think and Grow Rich? Only a few of you? I guarantee you after today, you're going to be reading the book Think and Grow Rich because I'm a huge advocate of it, and I'm becoming one of the guys that helped create a movie on it. It changed my life when I was 21. I know it can impact your guys' lives as well. Before I get started, I want to thank HARDI for bringing me in, and also thank Allied Air Services for bringing me in. They sponsored for me to be here, and they're investing in the ability for you guys to learn all the key things that are happening in business and stay on top of things. Because I'm telling you right now, things are changing so fast. We're in a world, as you know, it changes with the internet, with technology, with video, with social media. What people were doing 2 years ago, it's not working now. You have to change. And if you don't change, some of the things I'm going to share with you, if you don't adapt, you won't have a business 2, 3, 5 years from now. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, HARDI, and everybody bring the vent. So I'm going to start with this question that completely changed my life, my wife's life, and so many people. You know, I've traveled the country. I've interviewed homeless to billionaires to CEOs, athletes, some of the most influential people in the world. And what I've learned is the ones that figure out what they want in life, the ones that figure out what success is, they're the ones that actually get it. Once you figure out what you want, your strategic plan, once you figure it out, you know how to get there. Who in here thinks they know what they want in their life? No hands? Nobody? A few of you? So I want you to do something quick. Close your eyes for me. Everybody, I'm looking. Close your eyes. I want you to think about what success means to you. What is your version of success? What does it mean to you in your business right now? Whatever position you're in. Maybe it's eventually growing up and going up the ladder and becoming the CEO of your company. Maybe it's being the top salesperson. Maybe it's just being the best you can be at your job title, whatever it is that you do. Maybe it's making more money so you have more opportunity, more to give back, and more to come back here at HARDI and mentor the next generation. As we go through this today, I want you to think about your success and how what you learn from here, you can apply it. You can open your eyes now. Let's give everybody a round of applause for your own version of success. So success to me, you know, what I'm going to share with you today is a key formula, what I've learned from other people and myself, finding success in different areas, whatever that is to you, and also different things around video. I want to inspire you, motivate you, educate you, and make you think differently. The things I'm going to share with you allowed me to have success in my own life. Right here, youngest guy in this movie called Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy. It's now been seen by millions of people. It's in 3 different languages, and it's based off the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill that's sold over 130 million copies. It also has allowed me to go and speak all around the world. In 16 hours, I get on a plane, I'm going to Los Angeles. The week after, I'm going somewhere. Every single week, I'm speaking to an audience, sharing what I've learned, sharing my knowledge, and trying to help different people in their industry. It's literally, seriously, as I sit here right now, it's so hard to believe that I have the opportunity to go speak in front of so many motivated people and use my experiences to be able to help them. It's allowed me to marry the woman of my dreams and go on and create a TV show with her, which I would have never dreamed of. I'm from a town with 700 people in Iowa that nobody's heard of. But because I applied the principles of Think and Grow Rich, and because I applied the principles I'm going to share with you, it allowed me to get there. And yes, get my wife. It's allowed me to win Emmy Awards. Heck, when I was a kid, I didn't even know what an Emmy was. But because I applied the principles and applied the things I'm going to share with you today in social media, in video, all these different things, it allowed me to get to that point. Quickly, I'm just going to share a quick experience that was one of the highlights of my career in my industry.
And the second award for Category 22 Religion Program goes to...
This one goes to Sean Vea, Brandon Adams, Samantha Ronson, Mike Silvestri, Carlos Medina from Vea Visuals, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida for Against All Odds, the Shea Hillenbrand story.
Thank you to Shea Hillenbrand for allowing us to tell a story going from a 2-time All-Star playing for the Red Sox to helping kids all over the country. Thank you to Sean, Vea Visuals, and Mike and Carlos, our whole team, my beautiful wife, traveling the country, hotel to hotel. Everything she's done to my parents, her parents. Wow, this is a dream come true. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So that experience right there was just, for me, it's like you look back in your life. You ever have those moments where everything you work for and then you get that big win? It's like, wow, it's a dream come true. Who's had those experiences, yeah? Raise your hand. Yeah, and you look back and it's like, I'm so glad I put that work in. You know, some of the things I shared today, it's going to go through the things you need to do. You know, it's not easy. Success isn't easy. You got to pay a price. There's no quick way, quick fix. You got to pay the price to get there. And I have this formula on the acronym TRAIN, how to train for success. You guys, if you want to take a picture of that so you can see it later, I'm going to also give the presentation to Nick so you get access to it. But T is take action, R is relationships, A is add value, I is invest in yourself, and N is never giving up. From everything I've studied on Think and Grow Rich, everything I've learned from people all over the country, this formula is what I found out to be the key to success in any business. So the first one, T, take action. Action is literally what's going to get you the results. The thoughts in your head determine what you want, but the action determines what you get. It's going to events like this, being in this room. I wish I knew about HARDI a long time ago. I mean, this is a great group of people that are investing in themselves and going to the next level. But you have to take action. You have to do the things most people aren't willing to do. You got to be crazy. Who feels a little crazy in here? Yeah? Come on, I know some of you do. Yeah, it's when you are so motivated and driven towards your success, you're going to feel a little crazy at times because you're going to do things that most people are going to question you about. So I'm going to offer you one opportunity. I have this book here, has some of my deepest secrets in business and life. Who wants it? Who wants it?
Take action.
Who wants it? Give her a round of applause. See what she just did right there is something very simple. Sometimes it's as small as standing up and grabbing it. It's as small as asking for something. The power of asking. A lot of people fear to ask because they're afraid they'll get shut down. They're afraid of rejection. But I found out when you ask, you get. You're not always going to get it, but you got to ask. So take action in your life. After this event, don't go home, get motivated, and do nothing with it. I want you to go and do something with it. I want you to implement the strategies so you can utilize it in your business. R is relationships. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Your mentors, the mentoring we did around here, the circles, I sat in with one of them, Tim. It's powerful. You get to pick the brain of somebody that's been there, done that, been in the industry for 30-some years. Wasn't that good? Do you guys enjoy that? Where else do you get the opportunity to pick somebody's brain like that? Over the years of my career, 29 years old, I've learned from giants. I've learned from people that are twice my age, that have succeeded in so many different areas, and they failed a lot. So learn from other people and surround yourself with the right people. Do not be around negative people. We all know who they are. Sometimes it's even family, sadly. Sometimes it's even family. Be around people that will hold you accountable towards your goals and help you get to where you want to go. A is add value. You know, Sharon Lecter, who is in the book, if you guys read it, Think and Grow Rich Legacy, her dad always said to her, have you added value to somebody today? What I mean by that is, how are you helping somebody? It's adding value to your customers. It's adding value to your employees, to your team, heck, to your significant other. We live in a world of value. The more you give, the more you get. And don't expect something after you give it. Always be adding massive value. When you do that to your customers, when you do that in the business that you're in, you're going to get paid more. You're going to get more clients. You're going to get more referrals. Always be adding value. I is invest in yourself. You're already here in this room. That's one big leap. You're investing in yourself, in your knowledge, in your mentors, in your relationships, and also in your brand. And that's what we're going to talk later about video, how video can help build your brand. And it doesn't matter. Whatever industry you're in, it pertains to you because video is powerful. Storytelling is the most powerful thing we have as human beings, and video is the best way to do it. So investing in video, investing in yourself for your future. And the last one's never giving up. You know, most people, I have a mentor that he was with Will Smith once. And Will said, John, he's actually the executive producer of the movie. He said, John, you know, here's the problem. Most people, they achieve success. They get 90% of the way, and then they give up. That last 10% takes 90% of your energy. You have to give it all you got. I found out some of my darkest times in my career and my life are literally, I'm just beyond one step closer to my greatest success. I've seen the lows, I've seen the highs. The highs come after you get past the low. It's like we're getting tested all the time. You ever feel like you're getting tested? Like whether you don't got enough money to pay your bills, or you can't pay your supplier, or you got a client that hasn't paid you. Whatever it is, you're going through that obstacle, you just got to keep going. You must never quit. If you keep going, you're going to achieve whatever you want in your career. So this is me in Garnerville, Iowa. Who has heard of Garnerville, Iowa? Oh my God. What's your name?
Stephanie.
Stephanie. Have you been there?
No, but I went to school in Iowa.
What town?
Des Moines.
Des Moines. Okay. Wow. It's first. I was going to say, I didn't think so. But hey, Garnerville, Iowa, town of 700 people. We don't even have a grocery store. small town, this is where I grew up. So it wasn't like I had the best networking opportunities or areas to learn. So I grew up in a small town, and I grew up in an ice business. So my dad and I sold packaged ice. In 1986, he started selling ice for a living, and he started Adams Ice Service. He was a distributor for multiple companies, and ended up being the main distributor he became a distributor for was Arctic Glacier Ice. I'm sure most of you have heard of Arctic Glacier Ice. They're the biggest in Canada, second largest in the U.S. It might be the first now. And so we delivered ice to customers. I learned at a young age what it was like to work with customers, sell product. We worked with merchandisers. I remember telling some of the people that I'd fix the coolers. I sometimes was doing things I didn't have the license for, but I knew how to do it. Getting the what do you call the motors that you have to put in the cooler and Freon and all that other stuff. But I got to learn what it was like to work with people. I got to learn with mom and pop stores and clients. And the biggest thing I learned in the business was customer service. People will not forget that. You got to remember, the people that are buying from you, they're paying for your future. They're providing food for your table. They're giving you the things that you have. I learned in the ice business to deliver great value to others, always over-deliver, and be a man or woman of your word. Your word is powerful. It is to me. And I'm the kind of guy, it's a handshake, and you say what you're going to do. When you do that, people will tell others. That's what I learned in the ice business. I went in, and by the way, this is me at a young age. I know. I was like 6 there. So as a young age, I always wanted to be something big. I just didn't know what it was. The one obstacle I had was I had a speech impediment. I had a lisp, so I couldn't speak. I got bullied. People made fun of me, and they'd always mock me, and I hated it. Who got bullied when they were a kid? Yeah? The stories, we could go for days. I hated it. But I told myself I wasn't going to allow that to affect my future. Every single night, my parents didn't know this until actually the book came out. Every single night when I was a kid, I would speak in front of the mirror. I would do I am a success. I am a great speaker. I am a great salesman. I said that, and I was playing it into my subconscious mind, and people would be like, oh, Brandon, do you have a speech impediment? I would act as if I didn't know what they were talking about because I wanted to convince my own mind that I was great. Eventually, I overcame that speech impediment. So that was one of my first obstacles in applying your subconscious mind, your affirmations, and really telling yourself you can do something before you can even do it. And some people are like, okay, this is a bunch of stuff that's a joke. It's true. It's actually proven. So when you convince your mind you can do something, you can. You can say you can't, and then you won't. So that's a powerful thing in sales and business. You have to really believe in your product. Because if you believe in your product, the conviction is on the eyes. When you're looking at your customer, when you're looking at somebody who's going to buy from you, they're going to believe you, and they're going to buy into you. You are the person selling the product. So believe in yourself. I went off to college, and this is my college career. Who can relate with that? I had a cigar in my mouth and a drink in my hand. Come on, who had college a little too much fun? I know more of you. Come on. I graduated somehow from college, but I got a 1.68 GPA my first semester. I went to Iowa State University. I got kicked out of my dorms 5 days before because I was fighting, and I literally was lost. I had no idea what I wanted with life. And where my life changed is I read the book Think and Grow Rich. What I learned from the book as I was laying in bed one night reading it, with my 1.68 GPA and all the negative things, I was drinking every night, I realized I saw Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, all these people that found success in their life. They weren't no different than you and I. They made the commitment to go after what they wanted. They didn't listen to others that said they couldn't do it, and they didn't stop until they got it. I realized in that dorm room that, hey, Brandon, you know what? If you really figure out what you want in life, you can achieve it. And that's the difference between people that are successful and people that lack and fail, is knowing what they want and actually going for it. My mentor, Jack Berger, right there, he was a guy that sold millions of dollars on infomercials. He's the guy that led me to the book. Thank you, Jack. I was 20 years old when I read it, and I had my first investment in myself. Who's invested in like mentors, coaches? Yes. I was 20, then I was 21 at the time. I dropped 10 grand on Cactus Jack Behringer to be my consultant because I wanted to learn from him. He was a multimillionaire. He had a lot of success in sales. My parents said he was a fraud. They said, you'll never see your money back. What are you doing? I'll never forget. I paid him cash. Paid him 10 grand, and I had to go and I was pitching to friends and family, and I paid them all back. but I invested in my mentors. It's one of the best things I ever did. So find mentors. You might not always have to invest in them, but find somebody who's already achieved what you want to achieve and follow in their footsteps. So Arctic Stick was an invention of mine. While I was in the ice business, I had read the book Think and Rich. I said, I want to do more than just selling ice. I want to do other things. I had this product that I wanted to cool and flavor bottled beverages with called Arctic Stick, to cool and flavor drinks. I went on and I threw Jack and the connection. I got on this pilot run of a TV show called America's Got Money. I pitched. I loved being on in front of camera. And they liked it, but the show never got taken on. But it was my first experience doing that. That was my invention. That was my idea. I was pursuing it. I ended up putting over $100,000 in this invention in 3.5 years of my life. You can buy it on Amazon today, but the product never made me back the money from that product, but I learned so much from that failure. I learned so much from the process of doing that. But it came from the ice business. So I went and I got in the family business and I bought the business for my father. It was 2014. Now while in this, I wanted to advance my skills and my knowledge. Instead of just being in the family business and people will like, and if you're a second or third generation, I'm sure you get this. I had this, oh, your daddy just gave you the business. I bought the business. Your daddy just gave you the business. You're just going to take over. You're lucky, or whatever the BS they told me. You know, I wanted to learn more. So what I did, because I did it at a higher level, is while I was in the business, I ended up working for corporate, which was Arctic Glacier, and I became a distribution manager. So at 22 years old, I was managing people that are 2-3 times my age. There's, this young punk kid that just got out of college. So I had to work harder than everybody else to prove them that I was worthy. I'm going from 3 distribution centers to 8 distribution centers. It was not a huge territory, but I had about a $10 million territory covering the state of Iowa and the surrounding states selling ice. I had about 50 people under me, and most all of them were older than me, twice my age. So I had to gain respect. Here's one lesson I want you to take away from this. I was working 110-hour weeks. I was sleeping 3 to 4 hours a night. I was going nonstop. Who can relate with you want to work your way to the top and do as much as you can? Who's trying to work there? You got to sleep. You got to have time for yourself, because I thought I was a machine. What happened one day, I realized I wasn't a machine. It actually, Friday will be my 6-year anniversary of me dropping. So I was delivering ice in Des Moines, Iowa. I just got a truck. I had a bunch of calls. I had like 2 different employees calling me. One had just hit a convenience store, backed into it. So I was freaking out. My dad is in business with him. We had a truck breakdown. That was like a $5,000, $10,000 breakdown. And I was so stressed out, hardly any sleep. And I was driving down the road with this truck, and I felt wheezy. I felt like I was just going to lose it. I pulled over. As soon as I put in park, my body locked up. I was literally like between a panic attack, a stroke, literally my body shut down. For the next 20 minutes, I was in there. I couldn't do anything. I had my headset on, and luckily my secretary at the time called me and said, Brandon, where are you at? And I was freaking out, yelling. And I first didn't want to go to the hospital because I thought I'm going to get away from my work. And then the pain was so deep inside of me that I told her to call 911. So 10 minutes later, 911 came, the ambulance came, I'm on the side of the road thinking I'm going to die. I'll never forget this too, because my dad's always been a great mentor. Who's in a business with their dad? Yes? I was in with my dad, and I said, to Sandy was her name, I said, Sandy, if I die, tell my dad I love him. Tell him I love him. In that moment, nothing else mattered. The amount of money I was making, the amount of work I was putting in, for what? For frozen water. Literally. For frozen water. Ambulance came. I ended up getting out of that situation. I'm here today to share the story. This is how messed up it was. They put me in the ambulance, and I somehow came out of the funk, whatever it was, and they wanted to take me to the hospital. I said no. My driver had saw I was parked on the side of the road. He came in, and he came to the ambulance, and I said, he'll take me to the hospital. He'll take me to the hospital. And we got in the truck, and I said, I'm not going to the damn hospital. I'm going back to work. I worked until midnight that night, and I sat in the office and had a big moment of, what am I doing? I had no friends to call because nobody talked to me anymore. I was just working. I had no life. I had no relationship. I didn't meet my wife at that time. Thing for you to take away is you can't work your way to the top all the time. You can't just work nonstop. You have to work smart. You have to work smart, and you have to have people that help you. I was trying to do everything. Because you say, only I can do my job. Here's the thing. If you try to do it all yourself, you can't scale. You can't scale your business. You can't grow, and you're not a team. So you don't always just do it all yourself. What you need to do is you need to build yourself this team that can support you and help you moving forward. I ended up leaving corporate. It was about 7 months later because corporate, I know one of the speakers talked about retention for millennials. I was there 16 months, so their 1.8 or 9 years was pretty on. Here's why I left, because they weren't willing to change. They weren't willing to change. They were doing work. I was doing the job for 2 people, and I kept taking on more work, and they wouldn't hire more people in for me, and they wouldn't do some of the things I suggested. If you're running a business right now and you got employees and new people coming in, if you want to retain your customers, not your customers, if you want to retain your employees, the new millennials coming in, you need to be very open. As millennials, we want to co-create. We want to feel we're entrepreneurs. We want to be a part of the process. We want to work with you. We don't want to be employees. We hate that. We want to be next to you as we grind our way up to succeeding in the business. And great leaders will share that with them. Let them grow. Let them grow beyond you. I want anybody around me to go above me. So in your business, if you're having millennials or anybody of our generation, we want to co-create. We don't want to be an employee. So I want to share with you quick. So I'm going to talk about failure, and I got a video for you, a special video. So my wife and I left corporate, and I had the invention Arctic Stick. I wanted to start a product development company. And I said, Samantha, my wife, I said, leave your job. She had a full-time job. Leave your job, join me. We got a company, and you got full pay. I got $750,000 investment lined up. We're going to start this company. We're going to make millions. And this is true. We moved to Des Moines. We went all in. We got an apartment. We had our office picked out. Everything. Adam's Product Innovation. There's the logo right there. I'll never forget it. Right before we moved there, my gut feeling told me it was going to be right. I was relying too much on the deal where I was buying. And I knew if I did it, that it would be bad for me. The last minute, with my gut feeling, I trusted my gut. I turned it down, and we're figuring out how we're going to pay rent the next day. We're like, we just turned down this opportunity. We spent 5 months on this project, and we had to make a pivot. Sometimes in life, you have to make a pivot. It was a low moment. We hit rock bottom. So what we learned is, in rock bottom, you get superhuman powers. You have to figure out how you're going to succeed. So we went to what we knew. We went to Arctic Stick. We went and pitched at Shark Tank Casting Call in 2014 in Des Moines, Iowa. We pitched in front of the line while we were waiting. I ended up getting on USA Today for it. It was a cool opportunity. We pitched in front of the judges. They even kept us after. I thought, we're going to make it on Shark Tank. We pitched, and it was for a U.S. Cellular commercial, so it wasn't even for Shark Tank. We never got a call back. It was another failure. You see, the ice business, saw that failure. The low mud on the side of the road. This business, I failed for Adam's Product Innovation. I learned from it. I kept going forward. You got to keep going. Arctic Stick, Shark Tank said no. They didn't want me. I learned from it. I kept going. You know, I'm 29 years old. I know there's a lot of people in this room that have had a lot more failures than successes. So I asked a favor of my friend and mentor, Kevin Harrington. So Kevin Harrington, have you heard of Kevin Harrington on Shark Tank? And he invented the infomercial. He actually was in the heating and cooling business when he was like 17, 18 years old. He had in Cincinnati, Ohio, Tri-City Heating and Cooling, and that's where I think he made his first million. But he got into that business, then he got in the infomercial industry, and then he got stock in companies, and then he got on Shark Tank, and now he's learned a lot. But I've learned so much from his failures. So I got a quick video for you to watch from Kevin Harrington.
Hey there, HARDI, Emerging Leaders. I'm Kevin Harrington, the original shark from the hit TV show Shark Tank, as well as the inventor of the infomercial. I know Brandon is going to be sharing with you some amazing content around creating and publishing video content, and also going through some of the principles of Think and Grow Rich, the legacy. But I wanted to share a few quick tips for you today that I believe can help you in your business. Now, a lot of people don't realize I got started as a young entrepreneur in Cincinnati, Ohio, knocking on doors, and I originally started selling driveway sealing services. Eventually, that led me to start Tri-State Heating and Cooling, where I sold my services door to door also. Now, I actually was also buying lists of people that just bought a new home, and we were offering them free furnace cleanings and safety checks on the furnaces and getting amazing new customers on a weekly basis. But this all eventually led me to get into the infomercial and have seen the TV industry and landed me as a judge on Shark Tank. Now, over my last 40 years of experience in business, I learned a lot from my successes and a lot from my failures. So there are many lessons to be learned from your failures, which can lead you to your next success. I've learned that hearing no gives you an opportunity to get what? A yes. Why? Because if someone tells you no, that means they are a decision maker. Now with new information, they can say yes just as quick as they say no. And after hearing no, you get feedback from your customer that can actually teach you how to improve your product or your pitch, because the better your pitch, the more likely you are going to get that yes, okay? So if something isn't working in your pitch or in your business, figure out what's going on. Make some tweaks. Tweak it again until you get it right. And eventually, you're going to have the solution to your problem and get the yes you've been looking for. So I hope you have a great rest of your day learning from Brandon. And I can't wait for you to see our TV series Success in Your City and read the chapter that I wrote in our book, The Road to Success. You're going to learn how I turned my failures into my successes and how you can also do the same. I'm going to leave you with this one quote that I love from Winston Churchill. Success is being able to go from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. Now, I didn't always have that attitude, but the more sophisticated I got, the more I realized that, hey, I'm going to get up today, go do my best, and we may fail. But I want to fail fast, fail cheap, and get to the winners. I want to focus on the winners, the winning pitches, the winning sales techniques, etc. So let your failures be a lesson for you and get you closer to your winners. Here's to your success. Kevin Harrington, go.
Let's give Kevin a round of applause. So Kevin Harrington learned so much. You know, he's heard no's so many times. He's knocked on doors. Who in here thinks they've heard the most no's in the room? Come on, the veterans in here? Yeah, Tim knows. Yeah, you hear so many no's, and you're starting out, and if you're in your 20s or 30s and you're working your way up, you're going to hear so many no's, you're going to have so many failures, but there's something to learn from it. What's the feedback that no's given you? What do you need to do to better your pitch? What do you need to do to provide a better service? Maybe you're speaking the wrong language. Learn from your no's. So leading into where I got into crowdfunding, helping people raise money. So we failed in the getting the product on Shark Tank. We had the business company that went down, and we turned to crowdfunding because the last leg of funding for our invention was Kickstarter. Who's been Kickstarter, Indiegogo? Have you heard of it? Yes? They know, because some people still haven't heard of crowdfunding. So it's a platform where you raise money for your idea. Basically, you put the video and you put a project online, and people can back your idea. If you hit your funding goal, you'll use the crowd's money to create your product. I had to invest in the tooling. It was like $27,000 or $25,000 at that time. I used the crowd's money. They pre-ordered it to create the product, and they got first access to the product. So I got into crowdfunding. We did the campaign, and I learned that crowdfunding is not easy. Raising money is not easy. But I saw an opportunity in the market to become the crowdfunding expert and help other people raise money. So that's where I got into building my brand. And as I share this, there's little tips along the way that you can take away from my story of how you can apply it in your business. I want you to think about in your business, what are the things you could be doing from the lessons learned here? What are the little tweaks you can do in your business to help you get more sales or build more rapport with your customers? So I started building my brand. I was traveling the country. I interviewed people for my podcast show. It was at that time the University of Young Entrepreneurs. I launched in 2015. 400 and some episodes in now. I got the opportunity to pick somebody's brain. I would interview them for my show. I said, hey, come on my show. At that time I had no listeners. I said, come on my show and I will share you with my audience of 5 people. No, I'd share you with my audience. I didn't know how many were there. But it was an opportunity for me getting that one-on-one like you guys did at the tables. I had an hour of pure advice that people would pay thousands of dollars for. So I used podcasting in my way to build a relationship and learn knowledge. And this guy right here, Chris Hawker, 2 years ago, we ended up getting flown out to X Prize to consult on he was one of my mentors. We flew out to X Prize to consult on a $30 million crowdfund because I built relationship with him and I helped my mentor moving forward. So I went on and I wrote a book. Who's wrote a book in here? No? Y'all should write a book in your life. It's powerful. You all have a story. I'm sure you have even more amazing stories than I have to share. Writing a book is powerful for you as a person, but also it helps you build up your influence and your brand. I wrote a book on crowdfunding because I wanted to become the expert. I went to the next level. I started going on TV across the country because when you're on TV, people think you're this expert. So I started going on morning shows all over the country, Jacksonville, Reno, Nevada, Des Moines, Indianapolis, Florida, California, you name it, I was on a morning show, random morning shows, Minnesota, and I was building my brand. Now, I went to the next level. One of the guys that came on my podcast show was Louis Foreman. he was on my show. And at the end of every show, like I said before, always ask and always share what you can do to help somebody. I said, I'm a crowdfunding expert. I'd love to help you in any way. Is there anything I can do for you? He said no, but he said, hey, I have this magazine called Inventor's Digest. How would you like to get a write-up in it? I said, yes. I took action. Within 10 minutes, I sent him an email with my whole story, and he put me on the cover of Inventor's Digest. I don't know the value of that, but all I know is I didn't pay for it. They actually put me in the Renew, the back of the section. It was in there for 12 months. That's free marketing for me. It's because I asked and I told him how I could help him. The more you give to people, the more they're going to want to help you in return. Where my life changed is I had a guy named John Lee Dumas on my podcast show who's listed to Entrepreneur on Fire. Yes? Great show. He's done like 2,000 episodes now. At the end of the show, I said, John, I'm a crowdfunding expert. How can I help you? He said, I'm thinking about doing a campaign. I said, okay. I took on that campaign. At this time, by the way, I had not really built my career up yet, but I saw the opportunity to learn from a multimillionaire and learn from a guy that is doing things at a high level. I committed to doing that campaign for no cost. I put 6 months of my life into that campaign. I got other people to work with me. Most people think that's crazy. I learned a valuable lesson. I learned so much from him. We launched a campaign. We made it the 5th largest crowdfunding campaign in history. We raised almost $500,000 for a book in 33 days. You know what? That started my career. I went on his podcast show. I got to promote myself. I learned so much, but also I got so much value. I made way more in that testimonial than I would have ever made charging him what I was going to charge him. So sometimes there's opportunities where maybe you take it on where you don't get paid. Maybe it's just learning, showing up and learning from that person. Heck, starting out, looking at what I know now, I would have found somebody exactly the person that I wanted to become. I would have said, hey, can I work for your company? You don't have to pay me. I'll work for you. I'll add value. I just want to learn from you. Eventually, if you add enough value and you try to leave, they're gonna make sure you stay. So add value to your mentors, the people that you look up to. So I've worked with some amazing people over the last few years because of that campaign. It led me to working with Keller Williams. It led me to working with Think and Go Rich, Shark Tank, X Prize, all these big companies now that I advise because I added value. So I started using crowdfunding for my own endeavors. Instead of helping other people raise money, I was raising money for my own businesses. This event here, dude, being at HARDI right now reminds me so much of the event that I started in 2015 called Young Entrepreneur Convention. I wanted to bring young entrepreneurs together to help them take their business to the next level. And HARDI is like literally just like it. And that's why I'm so thankful. You guys all should be thankful for being here, the opportunities, and for Nick and everybody else that's putting this on. Can you please give them a round of applause for what they've done? This is huge. Being in this room and getting opportunities to learn from people that have been there and done it is big. We started this event to help other people. I use the event for myself to build up my connections, but also put people on my stage and have them share their story. One of the guys at the event I ended up following up with, his name was Greg Roulette. He came from Florida. He actually came in and sponsored our event in the last minute that paid for one of our speakers. It was amazing. And he said, hey, Brandon, why don't you come down to Florida and create a course with me? Part of me in my head was lazy and said, I don't want to fly to Florida. He wasn't paying for it at the time. I had to go on my own dime, and I didn't know if I'd get any sales. But I took action. I took the opportunity. I'm glad I did. We went and filmed the course. We didn't make any money from the course, but what it led to doing is he said, Brandon, how would you like to create a TV show with me? I need help raising money. You help me raise money, I'll make you a co-host. I was using my specialized knowledge in crowdfunding to add value to somebody and getting an opportunity to be a TV host. I took him up on it, and fast forward, we went up filming a show. We've traveled the country. We've interviewed Nick Nanton, Jack Canfield of Chicken Soup for the Soul, Lewis Howes, all these amazing people. And we created a TV show, and it all happened because I showed up. So in your life, where do you have to show up? I know sometimes it's like, I don't got time. I don't want to show up at that event. Sometimes showing up at that event is the extra mile you have to go for your business. So this is where I got into video. This is where we're going to start getting into really tactical stuff here on video. And take notes, really take this in, and be open-minded. Because some of this stuff you're going to be like, why would I do that? I'm telling you from my own experiences and from what I've learned from the clients I've worked with, this stuff is powerful. When I saw what the TV show did for our business, it allowed me to get more opportunities speaking, high-end advisory deals where I got stock in companies. It got me opportunities to do some big things because people saw what I was doing on TV, they saw my brand was building, and they saw the power of video. So I invested in a personal guy to follow me around all the time and film everything I did. Literally a camera on camera on camera. That's me doing a Snapchat. That's the camera guy getting the experience. And then there's another camera taking a picture. I went to a whole nother level. In the last 5 years, I put in over $500,000 in video content, and I did it because I saw the value in it. I was building my brand and influence, and it's powerful for your business. Think about it. Let's say you drop 20, 30 grand, whatever your business is. Let's say you drop 50 grand in your business creating video content. Let's say that video content shared a story and was a good first impression in somebody. I don't know what all the margins are, but I can tell you if you had one big client saw your video and bought from you because they saw that video, would that be worth the investment? But people are scared because they don't know the investment. They're like, I've never done that before. I'm telling you, video is powerful. So why is it so powerful? It tells a story. Storytelling is powerful. It tells a story of who you are, what you do. It allows you to build trust with others. People buy from who they like, trust, and know. When they see your videos online, they build trust with you. They like you. If they like you, they're going to go to you versus somebody else. If you're not creating videos online where they're always looking, somebody else is, and then your competitor is going to win, and before you know it, you're not going to have any customers. So people, you're building trust with them. It gains more traction on social media. Facebook, LinkedIn, all platforms are rewarding more video content. You can do a picture post, but the videos actually get rewarded more. They want content on their platform, so the more video you put, the more viewers, the free publicity you get. You're investing the time to put the video on there. Also, you can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it. You can see it, you can hear it, you can feel the emotion. That's the power of video. People buy from who they relate with and trust. Again, that's a big thing in any industry. You build relationships with people. If they like you, they'll buy from you. How do you get that ability to build that trust with them? Through video. And then when you meet them in person, they're like, I've been watching your videos. The other thing that I knew about video was stories can change the world. Storytelling is so powerful. We've been doing it for thousands of years. You look at the Bible or religions. For thousands of years, we've been telling stories around dinner tables, around fires. You look at somebody like Gandhi, who impacted so many lives. He got people to go and do things for peace because of his communication, his speaking, the power of speaking to others. You look at Napoleon Hill through his writings. I don't think there's another human being on earth right now that made more millionaires from his work. And he's impacted so many people through stories in book format. Now look at Martin Luther King, how many people he impacted through his speeches, through his communications, through his stories when he had a dream. You think of Steve Jobs. His product launches were insane, but he was a great communicator. He was great at telling stories. When you watch the ads now, it's like telling a story through a video. And it's made the company very successful. I do it now. I share stories all over because it's the best way to get a point across. It's the best way to impact people. It's the best way to get a call to action. And business is the best way to get sales in your business. It's the best way to generate revenue. That's why video is powerful. At first, as tribes, we sat around fires. And then we wrote. Now it's video. That's the medium. So what to share? People say, Brandon, what do I share on social media? You're probably wondering, Brandon, what do I share in my business? Heck, when I was in the ice business, I was creating video. I was in the ice business. There's so many industries. Share who you are, what your mission is with your business, and how you can help your clients. It's not so much all the technical things in your business. They buy from people they like. So create content that inspires them, motivates them, or they can relate with. As humans, we like to be relatable, and we connect to people that are relatable, not always salesy. Share knowledge in your area of expertise. Some of you, I could see you doing Facebook Lives on your public page. You could share what you know in your business. You could have employees do a weekly Facebook Live where they share value from whatever it is you're doing. This will get out there. It'll help spread the word on your business and get more clients. It's your life and your journey. It's your experiences. Share when you're going and whatever it is you're doing. Maybe you're out on call and you're doing a Facebook Live or you're doing an Instagram story. Sharing the experience. Because the more that people can see you for what you're doing, the more they're going to know what you're doing. And then when they need you, they're going to come to you. I'm going to share a quick video. This is Kevin Harrington. This is really pounded home. And Kevin's 63. Maybe he doesn't want people to know, but Kevin's the older generation. He understands the power of this video thing. He understands the power of your brand. And once he learned that, he realized, I got to go in on this stuff. I don't want to fall behind. And building his brand and using videos ultimately what led him to Shark Tank.
I'm not just a product guy, although I love products, but I'm an equity owner in about 25 companies, and some of them are public, some are private, but it's just a load of fun. I never know what my day is going to be.
And it all happened because, for one, let's go back, you started to build your brand.
Yeah.
And then building your brand got the attention of Mark Burnett. So then that gave you a great opportunity, and then people are coming to you. I mean, you probably turn down opportunities every single day.
You know, I turned down quite a few more things than I can take on just because, there's only so much time in the day, and I want to focus on the real winners and focus on the real people that can make a difference in my life.
So what is really moving the needle? You think about everything you're doing. What is the core thing right now that you do that moves the needle to get more sales?
Well, so I would say exactly what we're talking about is as I continue to raise my profile. I mean, even think about the Kardashians, the Gary V's of the world. Gary V's got a person that follows him around with a camera.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's he doing? He's just creating content. So he's creating content on a daily basis because he's continuing to have his profile out in everybody's face on a regular basis, right? So, we're creating content. I'm writing, I'm podcasting, I've got my own podcast, I speak. So I have my own way of doing things, but I attend a lot of trade shows also. So I go to the houseware show, the hardware show, the fitness show, the beauty show, the golf show, the toy fair, etc. So go to trade shows, speak, go to Chamber of Commerce, get out there, build your brand. All right?
That's coming from Kevin Harrington. He realized in the infomercial industry, he was always putting all these celebrities on infomercials, and they were building their brand because they had airtime. But he was behind the scenes. He remembered, I think he was with, I don't know what celebrity it was, that he went in to the airport and everybody came to him and they went to the celebrity and they wanted pictures and everything, and nobody knew Kevin because Kevin was always behind the scenes. Once he realized that, he was actually on Richard Branson's island at a mastermind. Richard Branson said, Kevin, you need to build your brand instead of everybody else's. Once he realized that, he wrote the book. He started going on radio shows. He started creating video content, started a podcast show, and all that attention is where Mark Burnett saw that, hey, this guy, I want him on Shark Tank. So he called up Kevin and he said, Kevin, come to Hollywood. I can't tell you all the details, but I want you to be on this thing called Shark Tank. He's like, Shark Tank, what's that? And his wife had told him, he does Survivor. Can you imagine what Shark Tank would be? Because nobody knew. It wasn't a show yet. He flew out. It was Shark Tank. He never knew. He was investing his money, everything into these deals. They never knew if the show was going to go. He didn't know that it was going to become one of the biggest shows in history. But that deal, that wouldn't have happened if he didn't build his brand. He wouldn't have landed on Shark Tank if he didn't build his brand and create content. So be creating content in your business. No matter what business you're in, you need to create some kind of content to educate others what you do and how you can help them. So we're going to go some tactical things here. Facebook. Who has a business Facebook page for their business or your company does? Yes? Who has, let me ask, who has, maybe you don't know, but who has at the top of the page of your pinned video? A video that's pinned at the top. Back there? Yes? So what you're doing is the first time somebody comes to your page, you want a good first impression. You want them to see things and know who you are and what you do. Great photos. That for me, it's a personal brand. But for you, your business, maybe your logo, your team, showing who you are, having a great first impression, and then pinning a video at the top. Later, we're going to talk about specific videos that you can create for your business, but showing who you are, showing what you do, showing your team, showing how you can help your customers, whoever that may be, whoever you got to speak to, your avatar. Create a video and pin it to the top of your page. One small little thing you can do. Facebook Lives. Who does Facebook Lives in here? Yes. Facebook Lives. Okay, how do you utilize it?
So we've used it at where we've had open houses.
Yes.
So if we're doing a food truck open house event, we'll do a Facebook Live event. We use it on our Fit Fridays, right? We've done some Facebook Live events to promote new products.
Awesome.
Really uncomfortable, I'll tell you, for me to be on it. They've asked me to be on one, and I did one, and they asked me to do the second one, and I said no. Because you're live, right? And it's pretty intimidating, but it's good stuff.
Good for you. Give Dan a round of applause. Facebook Live's powerful. It literally will change your life. You can reach more people. I'll tell you quick. I've been on morning shows all over the country, and I can tell you what you can do with a Facebook Live and $20 on a Facebook ad. You can reach more targeted customers with that Facebook Live and that ad than you can reach on a local morning show. I've seen it. I'm telling you, Facebook, invest money in that before paying to go on a morning show. Facebook Live is powerful. This Facebook Live in 2016, one of the viewers, there was only 8 viewers on. One of the viewers was the producers of the movie Think and Grow Rich: A Legacy. They were 30% into the project. They saw me talking about Think and Grow Rich because I was preaching it. That ultimately led to him contacting me and ultimately led to me working with them, becoming a producer of the actual movie and being the youngest guy in it. So that happened. A Facebook Live led to me getting a movie and many other opportunities because I did a Facebook Live. Who's going to do Facebook Lives after this? Yes, yes. Few people. After we get to the other video stuff, you'll be raising your hand. Instagram. Who does Instagram? Yes. Does it feel weird doing Instagram stories? Not knowing what to put? No? I'm curious, for Instagram, what do you guys post?
Oh, well, it's mostly for the seniors.
But personal. But here's the thing. So people are building trust with him because of who he is and sharing fun things. And people might work with you just because you're posting cool things. You're on top of mind. Instagram stories is powerful. If you want to see examples, you can go and check out Brandon C. Adams. I do stories every single day. You'll see stories from this event because I'm showing people what I'm doing. Heck, last month I booked a keynote in Dallas because somebody had been watching my stories for 6 months. That was random, but they've been following me for months like they knew me, like we were best friends because they saw my content. So creating a page, having awareness. One thing I noticed, unless I didn't find it, HARDI needs to create an Instagram page. I'll help you guys if you need help. Creating an Instagram page because it's a new platform. It's a great place to be, especially with the millennials and younger generation. Being able to share who you are and what you do. Instagram stories is a great way to grow organically right now. Sharing quick little videos of what you're doing in your business, showing your life. Again, it's another way to be on top of mind. IGTV right now. They're competing with YouTube. So they're rewarding people to put content on there. You can upload a video. Oh, I didn't know if you're coming to say hi. Sorry to call you out. That's squirrel brain. I have ADD. So having IGTV, they're rewarding people to put content on there. So you're going to get a mass amount of views right now by just putting content on IGTV. It's on Instagram. Great place to put your content. So how to grow organically in Instagram. Here's some quick hacks. Use hashtags in your posts. Doing Instagram stories where you do hashtags that can actually jump on a hashtag story and you get hundreds of more views and other people will follow you. It's tagging locations. So like I could do an Instagram story. You'll see in my stories. I'll put a story and I'll tag Milwaukee. So it could actually get in a location tag. So you could cross promote with different pages. So friends that have other followers, that's how the big influencers will really grow their brand, is they'll promote each other on each other's platforms and cross promote their audiences. That's just Instagram, some strategies. Now LinkedIn, who's got LinkedIn pages? Yes, now everybody's raising their hand. LinkedIn's powerful. They're even rewarding more video now. Video is getting more rewarded and they're getting more traction to videos. Now it's the cool thing. LinkedIn profile, just having a simple who you are, what you do, because even that title right there, having executive producer, people are searching producers, they're going to find my name. Having the right title, having blogs and content on there, always being active, publishing articles, having endorsements right here, endorsements from people, and actually filling out the content. You fill out once and you're good. So when people come and see your page, you have first impression. Because some people are going to be on LinkedIn, some people are going to be on Instagram, some are going to be on Facebook, some will be on all of them. But make sure you have the 3 platforms at least filled out so when they discover you, they have a good first impression and they're more likely to work with you. Recommendations is good. Publishing articles. Even if you don't have any articles published now, just publish one at least. Because what happens is when somebody goes to your page, they're going to check out the article. Create an article that establishes you as an expert in your industry. Share 4 main tips or give some value. Have a valuable article that just provides pure value to others. Okay. Have your social media. The point of all this attraction and attention, you want to direct it somewhere. Who has email lists or campaign, CRM? Yes? Okay, so all the social media is directing back to a website or whatever is your landing page. So this website right here, you see, a lot of websites don't do this. They don't have an intro video. When you come to the page, there should be a high quality video that shares who they are, what they're doing, and how they can help somebody. You see that? They click watch intro. It goes to our trailer and we get their email list. Once we get their email list, they're in our funnel, then we can start adding more value to them through our emails and then our offers. You're building your list. You're building your client list. Make sure you're directing everybody somewhere. They're finding us on social media. They're going to our website. And then once they go to our website, they go into our email list. So then we're promoting them. We're becoming omnipresent. They see us on all social media platforms. they hear us on shows, and they're getting our email. When you're omnipresent, most sales are done between the 7th and 19th time you approach somebody. You have to keep showing up. Most sales I've done, I've heard 3 no's, 4 no's, and then I got the yes. Keep showing up, because if you don't show up, your competitors will, which means you're going to lose out on opportunities. Repurposing content. So a lot of people say, I don't have time to create content. This is an example. Literally the other day, I had an iPhone. I was walking to the gym. With my iPhone, I created a 2-minute video. I wrote some copy, some wording for it. I uploaded to Facebook, posted it there, went to LinkedIn. The same video, upload to LinkedIn, put the content there. I went to Instagram and did the same thing. It doesn't bother them because a lot of people are on different platforms. Repurpose your content. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. With this video right here with James Whitaker, the author of the book you guys have, I did a Facebook video, posted it, went to LinkedIn, copy and pasted, put it in LinkedIn, posted it, add some hashtags, went to Instagram story, posted it, add some text, did a post on it. Right there, I reached 3 different platforms. Don't reinvent the wheel. It's simple. Just have a system in place. Everybody's got their system and processes. Mine was create one piece of content and post in all platforms. Has anybody ever done this before? Yes? Yes. Is it Brandon, right? Yes, I can relate. Yeah. Good for you. So you're repurposing content. Good. Awesome. Okay, I got in, after doing all this stuff, this is where I get into transition and traveling the country and kind of get towards the things. I'm going to share what I learned from a lot of people around the country about success, about failure, and what we learned traveling the country. In 16 months, sold 2 companies, sold our house, gave away most of our things, and went all in on the show and created a TV series. And we got married too, same year. And I was doing high-level productions. I was filming different things, and I had this part of my life. I'm like, what are we going to do next, Sam? We weren't engaged at the time, but we're in Puerto Rico. We're sitting on a beach, and we were drinking pina coladas, and we're like, what are we going to do next? I saw an article by Mark Cuban that said live in 5 cities before you're 25. I said, why don't we live in 12 cities in 12 months and travel the country? And she thought, oh, that's cool. And then I said, let's film a TV show on it. Because I had filmed the show before, and that was a little harder to get that convention on there. Try to get her convinced that we were going to do that. But we ended up doing it. So there was 12 cities all over the country. 12 cities we had picked out. We're going to travel the country and do this. We had the idea in June of 2017. And December 27th of 2017, we left Iowa. It was -7 degrees out in our Tahoe, and we drove to our first city of Scottsdale. We started traveling the country to figure out what success meant from unique stories across the country and filming it on a show. So our first story was Shea Hillenbrand. Who's heard of Shea Hillenbrand? Any baseball fans? 2-time All-Star, made $20 million in his career, played for the Red Sox, Dodgers, many different teams. Left the game, $20 million in his bank account. He went and bought a zoo, by the way. Right after, he went and bought a zoo, dropped $5 million or so dollars. And every month, the cost was pretty expensive. Within 3 years, he lost everything. His wife left him, and he was living out of his van. He was suicidal. And he was wondering, what am I doing with my life? Where am I at? And he asked God to take his life. He took a bunch of sleeping pills and alcohol, and somehow he woke up the next day. And he figured out what was wrong with his life. His whole life, he was doing the things that he thought he wanted. He was playing baseball, and he thought all the money, the power, and he had it all. He thought that was what would fill the need inside him, but it didn't. He was miserable. He left the game, and then eventually he got into speaking. And now he speaks to churches, he speaks to crowds. He also sells real estate, but he shares his message. He shares his past and his journey, his obstacles, and he shares it with others. But the big lesson I learned from him is knowing your identity and also using your voice to help others. Think about in a business, if you're transitioning out of a position, that was a big part of your life. For me, being in the ice business 29 years and all of a sudden it's gone. That was difficult, but learning from Shea's story helped me transition. I'm no longer in the ice business. I'm now doing something else. So don't get too caught up in one thing and then you lose sight of everything else in your life. Because you got to have other things in your life too. Went to the next one, real estate family we learned from. We went to Austin, Texas. And this real estate family was creating homes. They literally started out of a closet. Their office was a closet, and they were cleaning floors to pay their $25 or whatever it was a month to be able to stay there. They ended up building a real estate empire. They're now like the top 5 in Austin for selling homes. They have a nonprofit called Kane Cares, where they use a percentage of every sale that they do to get back and renovate homes. In the show that you'll see later this year, We renovated a home, a couple that they needed a renovation. Literally, their home was, they needed work on it. So went in, and there was about 40 of us that went in and helped them. We put in new floors, walls, roof, all these different things. And what I learned from that was being able to use your resources, using their money, their team, to be able to give back, to be able to help other people. And the big thing I also learned from that is their team was their family. You're going to see a video later, a very powerful recruiting video for recruiting talent that's with them. They do everything together. Before they start their day, they have this exercise they do for getting leads. They're on the phone with the clients. They pray together. They do events together. They are family. And because of that camaraderie, they're very successful. They are very successful. So having a team, being more than just a team, more than business, it's a family. Then we went to Boston, Massachusetts. We learned about giving your life away for the joy of others. David France was in Boston. He was homeless, sleeping behind the Boston Aquarium. He was homeless and sleeping there at night, and during the day he was having meetings with billionaires. He wanted to create an orchestra to help other kids, but he didn't have any money. I always think of him because he didn't make excuses. He did it. What he wanted to do is he wanted to get enough money saved up. He wanted to use people that he met in the city to help him create this orchestra. He eventually created the orchestra. Now he's helping kids, and they're getting flown all over the world. He's a TEDx speaker, and he's using the power of music to inspire kids and get them off the street, using music to help them in other areas of their life. I learned from him is when you give your life away for the joy of others, when you give so much, you'll get so much in return. He is one of the most connected people I know. It's because he just wants to give. Don't have that mindset of, hey, what's in it for me? Really just want to authentically give, because when you do that, you're actually going to get more in return. Use everything you got at that moment. You may not have a lot of money right now, but be resourceful in your business. He got people to donate their time. He got people to donate money. He got 28 violins donated. He crowdsourced everything to create an orchestra, and he had nothing. There's no excuses. For my wife, it's being truly happy with who you are and what you're doing in life. We went to Denver, Colorado, and we featured women in fitness and their story and how they had obstacles in their life. My wife is my inspiration. She's my rock. She's one of the strongest people that I look up to, one of my greatest mentors I look to. We're always masterminding. It's actually proven the most successful people, they have a man or a woman in their life that they love that influences them to do great things. Henry Ford, the reason why he was so successful is because his wife was there pushing him. Every great success, there was somebody in their life that pushed them to become successful. My wife at 14 years old got addicted to meth. She was addicted to drugs because somebody introduced it to her because she thought that it'd be cool. She wanted to fit in. She had this dream to be an athlete, a gymnast. It was gone just like that. After somehow getting out of that addiction after a year, she rolled into an 8-year abusive relationship. One that she could not get out of. One day, she packed up her bags, she put it in her vehicle, she drove away when she never looked back. And now she's here today as a TV host, a producer, going to be a best-selling author soon. She's helping women in fitness. And she's using, what I learned is she's using her past to fuel her future. We all have shit in our life. We all got stuff that's wrong. Don't use it to push you back. Use it to push you forward. Use your story to help other people, but use your story to have more success. Don't hold on to it and let it drag you through your life in a negative way. Use your past to fuel your future. Phaedra LeGros, a country singer, making it on Broadway. She went all in. Her parents said, no, why are you going all in for this dream to be a musician? She went all in. She went to Broadway, and now she's singing on Broadway, and she just came out with her first album coming out. She went all in on her dream. Most people, they're like, maybe I'll make it in the acting, or maybe I'll make it in the country music industry. Here's the thing. The reason why they don't make it is because they don't have the grit to keep going. Literally, never stopping, because you show up. You never know when you're playing in that random-ass bar where there's a few people, but there could be one person that literally could change your life. It's showing up. And Phaedra LeGros is doing big things now because she kept pushing forward. She kept playing. So we didn't get to 12 cities. After doing it, we realized that we're not going to hit 12. We ended up living in 6 last year. We filmed for 5 different cities for our show. Here's the thing. We shot for the stars. We landed on the moon. You have big goals. One thing I learned from Grant Cardone, I got interviewed by Grant here in 2016. Who knows Grant in real estate? Yeah, he's big. He's got 10X, the book 10X. I sat with him and he asked me about doing a crowdfund for a $40 million crowdfund. And I realized in that moment, this guy was thinking big. At that time, I was thinking small. But I learned to think big, always 10X. Whatever you think your goal is, 10X it. Because here's the thing, if you go for that big goal, you fall short, you're going to get much farther than thinking small. You might as well think big versus thinking small. So I learned to think big. And yes, we got in 5 cities, or 6 cities total. But we still were a huge success. We shot for the stars and landed on the moon. So we're getting close to the end here. I'm going to show you a quick actual intro of our show so you know what it is. But first, I want to give you guys something. If you guys got your phones, should have phones. So I want to just gift you guys the first chapter of our book, or actually it's coming out in October. So I want to give you guys the chapter, The Road to Success is the book. The Road to Success, How to Achieve Success in Business, Life, and Love. And it shows the life of my wife and I. We both share, for both of us, her perspective, my perspective, and what we learned in different cities, how we overcame a lot of obstacles, and everything we went through along the way. So if you text my name, Brandon, to the number 64600, you guys will get in the system. I'll send you guys a free chapter because I want to give that to you guys. All right. So we're going to show the intro. You guys ready? You guys ready? Yep. There we go.
What is success? Some people say it's making a lot of money. Well, coming up with that one great idea. Well, what if it's something more?
Nothing that can be handed to you. It's something that you have to earn through your own hard work, perseverance, and dedication.
I would have to say success to me is finding your purpose.
To me, to have success is to feel diligent and passionate about what you're doing and to create a greater good. Success to me is being at peace and fulfilling your passion and having that alignment with your personality.
I think success is being happy while still going after your dreams.
What if success is something else? What if it's helping others find their purpose? That's what we're here to find out.
My name is Brandon, and this is my fiancée, Samantha.
We have one goal: to define what it means to be a success in work, in life, and in love.
So what is success? I mean, only you can answer that. What is success to you? What is your own version of success? Like I said at the beginning, think about what you're looking to achieve. What is your goal in your business, your endeavor, whatever it is? The sooner you figure out what you want in life, the sooner you're going to get it. To myself, success to me is mastering my craft, becoming the best at what I do and helping as many people as possible. Doing that through inspiration, motivation, education, through the power of video, podcasting, speaking, using those platforms to help you go after whatever it is you want to do in life. Having success in your business, in your life, in your relationships. For my wife and I, it's helping others live their own version of success. Through our show that releases here October 10th of this year in our book, it's going to help other people through these stories. They're going to see a bit of themselves in these stories. It's going to empower them to go after what they want in life, figure out what their own version of success is. And I always end on this quote, the most powerful quote I've had from Think and Grow Rich. I say it every single day, and it's so powerful. Think about it. Whatever the mind conceives and believes, the mind achieves. Whatever your mind conceives and believes, it achieves. And also, whatever you think about the most is what you become. Your thoughts determine what you want. The action determines what you get. Think about what you want in life. Do great things. Help other people. Make great money. Enjoy this life. And go out there and create great things and become unforgettable. Because life is too short not to. I'm Brandon C. Adams. Thanks for having me, guys.